Hello and welcome! You are here for episode 115 of the Nearly Men Video Games podcast, coming to you live on Twitch from Scotland on Thursday, 15th of September, 2022. I am Colin NM, and joining me tonight is Blunderboy87.
Hello.
And Paul Kozinski.
Oh, that's me. Hi.
Together, we are the Nearly Men, and this episode of the podcast is brought to you by executive producer Hamster Boy.
Mr. Producer.
Thank you. I was waiting for that. That was a real delay. We have nothing to do with the video games industry. We don't make them. We don't sell them. We're not even particularly good at them. We are the Nearly Men, and at some point, you have probably kicked our asses online.
True story.
That is a very true story. Alarmingly true.
Really tickled me in that whole setup was, as everybody knows, Colin's Ron Burgundy, and we'll read everything that's on the script, and then you'll have caught the wee glint of happiness as he saw the mistake in the date and cleverly fixed the date, and then couldn't remember the year.
I went 2002. I mean, I didn't say anything wrong. I just said it was slightly weird.
This is true. You were just cautious. You didn't trust the script after that.
Well, I didn't trust the script after that because I was like Thursday. I was like, that's not. I was like glancing between the script and the time and date on my computer. It's like, yeah.
I think Paul keeps tweaking the introduction because every time I hear it, it sounds different.
Well, it does get tweaked, but not deliberately.
It was that you're here for. I went, oh, that's different.
Yeah, that also caught me off. Caught me.
That's been there for a while, is it no?
No, I don't think so. Because it was something later on that you changed when it caught me. And I went, oh.
There was one when I had to do it myself. I had to really rework it, and then you hosted the next one. And obviously, not be fixed.
It's like my mouth is trying to autopilot, and my eyes are reading something different.
Dear.
Aye.
I love how these things are made to like keep quiet. We just talk about.
Aye.
We're just like, oh my god, all the mistakes we just almost made.
Well, we've never really done the whole Wizard of Oz, don't look at the man behind the curtain thing.
Mm-hmm.
We just sort of the curtain's fallen down, the curtain pole's broken in half,
there never was a curtain.
The bicycle's missing both wheels, so we might as well just let it. We're basically on display. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, gentlemen, how are you doing?
All right.
Aye. No bad. Tired.
Tired.
He's a working boy. He's a working boy. We're all sort of working boys. We're all
You'll be busy boys.
Of course, we've been talking about it a lot, Colin, but you've got a big arrival on the way.
Mm-hmm.
So you're almost tense with tiredness.
Are we talking about my God of War pre-order?
Yep.
That's just a joke, by the way, Sherry Bombs. If you're listening, I have not pre-ordered God of War.
Let that drift
before I'm assaulted through the green screen.
Into the
Can you imagine? Just a Leviathan axe comes straight through the green screen. Yes. My baby daughter's on the way.
Yay!
And should be arriving, touching wood, very soon. So this is probably my last podcast for a wee while.
Thank God.
As I had my sort of farewell for now stream last weekend, which was
back again.
A lot of fun. I know, and I'm back. Surprise! All you folk that were so generous, I'm back.
We're retired.
A Twitch streamer move.
I see Tommy Box in the chat says, "Hey, that guy looks like a streamer that used to stream." Yep.
Well, listen, genuinely, on behalf of the Nearly Men and the Nearly Men community, all the best when it comes, my man. Hope all goes well.
Aye.
Very kind of you. Thank you. I find it very hard to be, to take you seriously, to be contrite, all that sort of stuff.
That's unreal. That's unreal.
Well, it was about this. I was slightly caught off guard when you said all the best when it comes.
Well, I forgot. I'd forgot that you'd released it there because I saw you debating.
Released it?
No, I didn't know.
My baby was not under NDA.
I didn't know if we knew whether it was a boy or a girl. So I
literally said my baby daughter.
My brain wasn't working that quick, and I thought maybe I imagine he said that, and I wouldn't listen if I put my foot in it the other way.
He just didn't want a Leviathan axe coming flying through his green screen.
Exactly.
Anyway, we're off to a flyer as ever. So, yeah.
Look at that. 8 minutes in and not a video game mentioned. Oh no, we mentioned God of War.
We mentioned God of War. We're fine. We're fine. We're still on brand. Yeah, so we have got loads and loads of stuff to talk about. We have been playing games. We've been finding out lots of information about lots of games. We're going to talk about them, but we also are going to hear about what you lot have been playing as well. If you'd like to get in touch with us, here is how you do it.
Reaching the Nearly Men is easier than ever. Search for the Nearly Men Video Games podcast on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or your preferred podcast player. We stream on Twitch. Follow Colin at Colin_NM. Follow Paul at Paul Kozinski, all one word. Follow Blunderboy at Blunderboy87. And let's get social on Facebook as The Nearly Men, Twitter and Instagram where we are at Nearly Men, or go old school and email us on info@thenearlymen.com. Need all that again? Links are on our website, thenearlymen.com. So what are you waiting for?
Yes, so what are you waiting for? Before we forget, as ever, we have shiny Nearly Men merch available. You can get that at printbunker.co.uk/collections/the Nearly Men. You can find us in there. Get yourself some nice fancy stuff. Dare I say it, the big jolly fat man in the red suit is not... I mean, the shops are already starting to plug all that. So get some of your Christmas shopping done early. Get some lovely, shiny Nearly Men merch for the important people in your life, or even just for a wee treat for yourself. Printbunker.co.uk, collections/the Nearly Men. Gentlemen, there was, there's been a couple of video game announcements. I can't even remember what they're called these days, but once they stopped doing the sort of in-person conventions, they started doing all this sort of online stuff. And of course, Sony's State of Play was last week. Was it not? It was like 2 days ago.
It's not 2 days ago.
It was Tuesday, I think it was, but it was quite late. Tuesday night. There was a whole bunch of stuff announced. We're gonna talk about a few things. First of all, Tekken 8 was released with a sort of cinematic and gameplay trailer featuring series. How to put it? Series regulars, series OGs, Jin and Kazuya fighting against one another. Looked quite good.
Just wish they two would make up.
Well, exactly. Seems to have sort of Street Fighter Street Fighter sort of style special moves now. You know, the big sort of like cinematic fireball, uppercut punch things and all that sort of stuff. Looks all right. Looks very Tekken, but looks quite good, and
Very
will no
shiny.
doubt be very, very popular for Tekken fans.
Tekken 3 was the best in the series. I will stand by that.
I think that's
that's
the one
like
I
a
played in
retro one,
college.
isn't
I think that was Winner Stays On
Yep.
personified.
The two best fighting games ever made, Tekken 3 and Soul Calibur 2.
I really did like Tekken 3, although personally Tekken 2 has a very special place in my heart because that was the one I played an awful lot of. Although I do remember my friend John was like the first person I knew that had a PlayStation. This was back in the day when I didn't even know a PlayStation existed. And he went for his birthday, he's like, I got a PlayStation. And I was like, I don't even know what a PlayStation is. And I'd never played anything like it. It was astonishing. And Tekken was the game he had.
Imagine a world where Colin Little doesn't know what PlayStation is.
Exactly. So aye, that was good. But Yeah, so Tekken 8. We also saw, where is it? Star Wars Tales from Galaxy's Edge Enhanced Edition, which is coming to PSVR 2. Did you guys see this? What did you just think about that?
I played it. It's good.
I've thrown it away there. Did you see that?
Is this the Oculus game?
Yeah, it's on Oculus. It's really good. It's really good. It's a lot of fun.
Aye, so it's the enhanced edition of that. It's coming to PSVR 2. It does look pretty cool, to be honest. I mean, does it let you do can you use a lightsaber? It didn't show you it in the trailer, which makes me feel you probably can't. And I'm like, what's the point in being a Star Wars VR game if you can't use a lightsaber?
Definitely use the lightsaber on the Vader Tales. That's good.
Is that the Vader Immortal thing, or is that something separate?
Yeah, I think it's Vader Immortal. There's like three episodes. The Adventures to the Galaxy's Edge. I've not played a lot of. It's one of those games I go out and played, and this is so much fun, and then get distracted.
Okay,
but they're good.
What did you think, Paolo?
Yeah. I'm all for VR and all that. I much prefer VR when it doesn't do first person shooter. Much prefer them using the medium to try something different.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I think it's very well suited to
It is because you're looking through eyes.
I mean, although one of the games that I remember reviewing many moons ago now was Moss, which was very different. And there's of course a sequel to that coming to PlayStation VR 2.
Stuff like that I find very interesting.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Sorry. There was a remake on the Yakuza series, which is called Ishin, Like a Dragon, Ishin. I think Blunder knows a little bit more about this because there was quite a lot of Yakuza news.
Yeah, after that was announced, so there was a remake of Ishin, which never got localized in the West. And it's kind of like a side game set between games. They've announced Like a Dragon 8, which is a sequel to the main timeline. And then it's interesting because there's the first 6 games, then there was Like a Dragon, and there's a total genre shift from like beat 'em up to RPG, like classic RPG. And then they've got another side game which is set after Yakuza 6 and before Like a Dragon 8 called Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Raised His Name. And that's I'm pretty sure that's the one where you still play as Kiryu, the main guy from the first 6-7 games. So there's a lot of Yakuza for the Yakuza fans out there.
Nice.
That's do you know, it's a series I've literally never played.
So good.
Me neither.
That's all I've heard about it. All I've heard is that it's absolutely amazing.
I just started it, and it's so good.
I'm pretty sure I would bloody love it. I know it's a wee bit bonkers at times. I know it's, quite, it's quite Japanese at times, and I mean that in the kind of in the highest compliment, because Japanese games in particular are so creative and are often quite out there. I suppose compared to sort of Western sensibilities,
they don't have the Western constraints.
Yes, indeed. So it's something I'm really going to have to check out, and especially with a whole bunch of them coming. I really do need to get into it. My friend Ali, actually, he recently, much like yourself, Blunder, just sort of started playing the Yakuza games. Having never played them, and he's like, wow.
There's 7 main games. You can get all of them in PS5, and then there's 2 side games set in the same world where you play as like a police officer. That's called Judgment and Lost Judgment. And then there's Like a Dragon, which is the latest one, and now there's a set in Like a Dragon, and then there's the 2 other games coming to go with the main game. I'm pretty sure Ishin's like an alternate reality sort of one I was reading, I think.
Yes, I think Ishin's the one which takes place in a dream. Now,
it's wild. Like from what I've done, a little bit of reading I've done, so that's kind of like fantastical.
I think Like a Dragon Ishin might also be turn-based. I think it's taken away the beat-em-up combat and it's gone turn-based.
So Like a Dragon and Like a Dragon the sequel were turn-based. But I don't know anything about Ishin. Because I was never a fan when it first came out, I was like, oh my gosh, we've missed out on this game. So now that it's all coming out and I'm into the series, I'm like, ooh.
It looks really interesting, and I'm pretty sure that we will inevitably, because there's been Yakuza games added to PlayStation Plus games over the years. There's probably some of them on the game library as well.
I think they're all on there for my guy. Not these ones, but
there's tons of them on Game Pass as well.
That's right. Yeah, I've really got no excuse.
You do need a lot of time. The first Yakuza 0, which came out after like the first 4 games, took me 37 hours to complete. So you're looking at like 30 to 40 hours, and that's without doing all the side quests per game. So I've got a lot of gaming to do in October.
There is a lot of gaming. Yeah. There's a bunch of other stuff. So a game that did jump out to me, I reckon it probably jumped out to Paolo as well. This is Ninja Theory's new game, Rise of the Ronin, set in 1860s Japan. And it kind of feels very much like, if you ever watched the Tom Cruise movie, The Last Samurai. Feels very much like that, but without the whole white savior storyline. It looks really good. It looks really, really good. And I'm quite intrigued with it. There was a rather ridiculous moment in it which I liked, which was very, very video gamey, where your character was fighting a bad guy and stabbed him several times with his musket and bayonet, and then shot the guy in the face.
Yeah, that stood out to me too.
Nice understated into the fight there.
So that was very video gamey and entirely unnecessary. I'm pretty sure the 2 stabs through the chest with a bayonet would have probably killed him. I'm not convinced that when you only had 1 shot in that musket that was the best use of it. But video game's gonna video game.
Yeah. There was a lot
Ninja
of
Theory
Japanese
do make
stuff.
great games. It does look a lot of fun. Yes, this state of play was very Japan orientated. To be fair to Sony, they said that. Did they?
So that's what they're flagging up, is that? Aye.
They said that you'd be hearing an awful lot from the Japanese studios, and sure enough, you did. Yeah. There was various other things. Let me see what else there was. There was a game that looked very much sort of Bayonetta style.
Oh yes, that was. I would have lost money saying it wasn't Bayonetta.
Yeah, which is called. Which one is it? It's not Singuality, but there was that one. It was this one, Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade looked very sort of Bayonetta.
It was a Bayonetta ripoff. I mean, down to the hair, the suit, the movement, everything about it.
It's made by a Korean studio, Shift Up, and was codenamed Project Eve. You may remember it was announced.
I think we saw this before, didn't we?
Yeah,
we saw this one of the I definitely caught my eye then. It's when it's not from them, but yeah, it looked good. So there's more of that shown. I need to go catch up on that because
there's a big trailer for it. It did look good. The combat looked excellent. I'm not a big fan of anime. I kind of don't really get it. I've watched some anime stuff and I really like it. I find some of the sort of tropes and voice acting in anime a bit unusual, and it doesn't quite speak to me. So it was a bit odd because all the sort of cinematics, I was a bit like, I don't know if I'd really like that. But the combat and the actual gameplay looked awesome, and I was like, maybe this is the game that would do it for me. But yeah, that looked quite cool. And then finally,
one more thing.
For a long time, we'd been hoping that Sony was going to do one more thing, and there was the one thing we were all expecting it to be, and finally it was the one more thing. Although they properly trolled us, because the first thing they did on the one more thing was show us a controller. Is that all they're going to show us? The God of War Ragnarok DualSense controller. Is that all you're going to show us? It does look really nice, actually.
You need this to play the game.
Well, exactly. And then they finally showed us the story trailer for God of War Ragnarok. Now, I know Blunder doesn't want to know an awful lot about it, so we won't go into an awful lot of story details or anything like that in the trailer. Paolo, what did you think?
Yeah, it looked more of the same. It looked like a continuation, an Empire Strikes Back, if you will.
It's very much seems to be a continuation. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but up to the high standard that the first one gave us. It was so tight to the first style that I was a wee bit like, so it's just that then. Which it won't be when I play it, but as a trailer, I was a bit like, oh, okay, it's more of the same, yeah.
I think it looks. I mean, it does look brilliant. It does very much look like it's more or less. I know Atreus is definitely older, and you can hear his voice. He's definitely older vocally. The character looks a bit older, so some time has passed. But obviously not a massive amount of time. It does, of course.
The motion capture and all that seemed a bit, or certainly that the performance animation seems a lot sharper. Because it was really good in the first game, but it was particularly the one shot of the woman who's, I don't remember names, but the woman was looking at something, and just the performance in her face was ever so subtle, akin to like The Last of Us 2 and all that, but it's proper performance rather than animation. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think it's a major spoiler even for Blunder. That's Freya, so we see Freya. We see Freya again, and of course. There is a final moment where you see a smidgen of Kratos going up against Thor, and it looks amazing. It looks so good. It's like a blink and a miss it sort of thing, but it looks awesome. And of course, I don't know if you know this, but it's Ryan Hurst who was in Sons of Anarchy, played Opie in Sons of Anarchy, and also plays, he's in The Walking Dead. He plays the character Beta in The Walking Dead. He's the voice of Thor. And I mean, he looks like he would be Thor. So it looks really, really interesting. I think it's going to be bloody brilliant. It's also got an absolute raft, much like God of War, like Tilu. The Last of Us Part 1, it's got a huge raft of accessibility options, just like I guess this is a big thing Sony are going towards now. They're really pushing in it. It's right up there. So that's really good. I'm hoping that right across PlayStation Studios that will be the sort of standard now, because I reckon, Xbox will be no doubt doing the same sort of thing, making games more accessible. It's not about making games easier across the board. It's about allowing folk to sculpt their experience or whatever. And it's really good. Very excited about it. It's coming in November, and it looks like it's going to be awesome. Anything more on State of Play from you guys?
No, I think
so.
Good.
Still wanna you never get you can go home, download it today. I want that. See from one of these shows, I want that, and you can download it now.
I know. Yeah. Who knows? May come at some point.
If you could sort that for me, Colin, that'd be great.
I'll have a word.
Thanks.
If you clear that up,
I'll give Shuhei a tweet about it.
Yeah.
So, Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves have announced their brand new Sirens Prize limited time adventure. This is going to utilize, this sees Belle, the character who's been sort of guiding everybody, all the players through the last number of adventures alongside the wonderful Merrick. Of course, due to the last few adventures, we now know that Merrick's kind of out of the way for now. Who knows what will happen with his story? But Belle is still on the lookout to try and stop Flameheart's evil machinations, and is sending players below the sea to recover certain items from the Sirens. This means that we're going to be going back down into those shrines and into those treasuries, which first appeared in the, what was it called? The Sunken Deep or whatever? I can't remember what the update was. Season 5, I think it was. So it's quite good. I'm quite excited about revisiting them. Players are going to be teaming up with the Ancients to fight against the Sirens and try and solve the adventure. Blunder, it's back into Mermaid Land.
I know.
You enjoy
I love
those?
mermaids. Yep.
Yeah. So that's happening. Also, this Saturday, the 17th of September, from 10 a.m. UTC, which I believe is 11 a.m. our time, is Sea of Thieves Community Day. Now, it's been a bit up and down over the last couple of the first community day ended up a bit of a disaster. The second one did better. They have taken away they had these sort of like gold rush hours, which were destroying the servers because everyone was piling on for those. That's not happening anymore, but you're still going to be able to use the social media stuff to build up community ranks that will give you maximum revenue, and that will be spread throughout the day. There's also going to be increased spawning of ancient skeletons as well, which of course are the skeletons that they come out with the unique sound. They look very different. If you kill them, you get ancient coins, which of course constitute to like real money, real world money purchases that you can make on the Pirate Emporium, or put them towards buying the Plunder Pass. So that is this Saturday. Also, don't forget, if you are a streamer out there, if you stream Sea of Thieves that weekend and you have got drops enabled, during Community Day, not that weekend, during Community Day, and you have drops enabled, any streamer, not just Sea of Thieves partners, any streamer will be able to give away drops as part of their stream. Just make sure you've got it set up. And of course, make sure you've got your account linked. If you're a viewer and you want to do it, you're going to have to watch any Sea of Thieves creator for 1 hour to do so. There is a number of folk in the community who I am sure will be streaming that day. I know Fluffy Edge will be, I'm sure Loradora probably will be, Odentior perhaps will be doing, I assume he will be as well. There will be loads and loads of folks out there. So make sure to check them out. Get your drops. There was one other announcement. That was, of course, well, actually, forgive me. There's two. Should we do let's do the Nintendo Direct first, and then we'll finish up on the one I'm very excited about. Now, Blunder, you were our sort of resident Nintendo expert for this. You actually saw the Nintendo Direct. I did not. Anything standing out for you? I know there was definitely one thing.
Oh, crap. There was a whole bunch of Square Enix things coming out, like RPGs coming out, which are like, they're minor studios, I think. So it's like 8-bit style RPGs and stuff. Which some people are like, is that a 2022 game? I don't know. And funnily enough, all three of their games coming out have the exact same font, and everyone's like, someone take that font off of them.
Was it Comic Sans?
No, but it's like Final Fantasy adjacent, so it's obviously trying to trick people into like think it's a Final Fantasy game.
Final Fantasy Sans.
Yeah, so everyone's like, stop it. The biggies that were announced was Breath of the Wild 2 has finally been announced, and it has a name, so it's not called Breath of the Wild 2, it's called Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now that word looks the same.
Of the Kingdom.
So everyone's like, because the picture that we've seen, it looks a bit Skyward Swordish. It's Link up in a floating bit of rock in the sky. So people are wondering if the kingdom gets torn apart and gets shoved up in the air, and it's almost like beginning the cycle again. There's been a lot of good theories coming out about it so far, but people seem very excited about that, obviously. Pac-Man 4's been announced, which I'm happy about because I love Pac-Man. Pac-Man, for those who don't know, is where you play a little alien dude who's like 2 inches tall, and he crash lands on an unknown planet, which is Earth. And he finds these wee things called Pikmin, and when he plucks them out the ground, they follow him, and you give them commands, and you find artifacts, and you build your army. It's very fun.
Nice. I
remember getting back from a holiday in Spain when I was 17, getting off the plane, going straight into town to GeForce to buy Pikmin 2. So that was announced. I can't remember. I don't know if it's shown because I kind of had it on in the background with some other things. Bayonetta 3 was shown again. Very excited by Bayonetta 3, and that's out soon. So I didn't want to watch a lot of that because I'm like, I don't want to spoil too much. However, the biggest thing off the back of Bayonetta 2 is there's a scene and she's in like civvies, so she's in like a pink jumper, jeans, and pink high heels, and everyone's like, slay. Everyone's like, I want to play as in that outfit, and there's all these fan arts in the outfit, and people are like, where can we buy that style? It's the weirdest reaction to ever. I also heard like a big green Christmassy looking dress. Very bizarre. But it looks really good. The storyline seems to feature multiple versions of Bayonetta.
Okay.
So we think there's going to be some cross-dimensional And travel, maybe some timey-wiminess, and debating it has always played with timey-wimey storylines.
Do you know, is Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield coming back for? Are they going to both play?
I've heard they're coming back
Spoiler.
as Demon Weave summons.
Okay,
So
good.
she's going to summon them with her hair and make them flap their way around the map. But it
you
looks
imagine?
good from what I remember seeing before. There's like you get to control the giant demons now for some fights. The fighting looks really smooth. It looks really good. I'm very excited. They also announced they announced with Capcom that Resident Evil 7 and 8 and 2 and 3 remake, maybe, are going to be able to be played on their cloud streaming.
Oh
And
yes, now Blunder, I know you feel really happy about this.
the verdict is don't waste your time. I think it's good for people who don't have any alternate way to play them. But I was watching a bit of someone play Resident Evil 8 on it, and ooh, it was rough.
Rough.
It was a rough experience.
I don't know why they insist. I mean, I understand that cloud gaming would seem like a viable way to get those games onto the, but I still don't think the infrastructure's properly there for that.
Well, do you know what's really interesting? They've remade Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, which was a PSP game, and it looks like the Final Fantasy VII remake on PS5, 4 and 5.
Oh well.
That's going to be on Switch, and it's not cloud gaming. Whereas they're saying Kingdom Hearts and Resident Evil has to be cloud gaming, and it's weird because this game looks fantastic. So that's coming out as well, and I'm very excited by this. I can't believe I forgot it until now. They are finally giving an official Western release of Project 04/Fatal Frame 4, which has never been released officially in the West.
Paolo's going to stream that.
I was so excited for most Ghost Spooky Times. So
Unacceptable.
excited.
Paolo's not a fan. He's not a fan. So an awful lot of stuff, to be fair. That's
from you going, I don't remember much. Actually, there was quite a bit.
that's quite a bit. Finally, I'd like to let you know of a game I'm very, very excited about. It is, of course, the N64 Classic Goldeneye. Is finally getting the sort of re-release to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the film that everyone sort of hoped for. Now, it's a bit unusual, a bit strange, and the more I read about it, the less excited I get. Unfortunately, which is a bit of a bummer, because it's coming to both Xbox and Nintendo Switch. And according to this article that I've been reading on IGN, an article by Matt Purslow, this was published yesterday and updated yesterday. It's coming on so Xbox and Nintendo Switch, but they seem to be two separate versions in sort of ways. So, you know, the Xbox version, it says, includes achievements, 4K resolutions, and a smoother frame rate, even in split-screen local multiplayer. It says no mention at all was made of online multiplayer, but I think we all just assumed that online multiplayer would be coming. However, later, apparently, the official Bond website, 007.com, confirmed that the online multiplayer is exclusive to the Switch version. It also noted that the Xbox version is different to the Switch release, calling it a 4K remaster rather than a re-release. Now, this is basically still going to be the N64 graphics, right? They are going to be a bit sharper. They're going to be a bit cleaner, but this is not like a sort of like remake of the game in modern day graphics. It seems as though it's going to be an emulated version of the N64 game that's just been tidied up a little bit. I'm okay with that because that's the game I knew and loved. I love the idea of being able to do 4-player sort of couch deathmatch and all that sort of stuff. That's very, very cool. Local multiplayer is awesome because that game was built around it and I had so many hours playing it. The difference is that now me and my pals are essentially all old dads who all live at separate ends of the country. When the hell are we going to be able to get together and do 4-player split screen? You know, I would have. It's amazing that it's there, and there'll be once in a blue moon we'd be able to do it. But surely, the article then goes on to, somewhat mock the fact that, strangely, the Switch is the sort of everyone crowding around the screen, everyone's got their little Joy-Cons and playing together kind of console. And Xbox is the famous one with a wonderful sort of online infrastructure around online gaming. it seems like they've kind of got them the wrong way around. I'm glad that the Xbox has the couch co-op, but I am genuinely astonished at the moment that it doesn't have online multiplayer. And I'm really hoping that they're going to fix that.
Could be a time thing, I guess, couldn't it?
You'd like to think so. It seems like a massive miss. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll definitely play through all the single player stuff. It'll be amazing to play them again. If I've got friends or family around, then absolutely whack on a bit of it and play couch co-op or whatever, couch multiplayer. But
even if they don't want to.
Well, exactly. I can't wait to make my mum play Goldeneye. She'll be like, "What? I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm doing. It doesn't matter. I need to play it with somebody."
She can't go on job.
Can't go off job.
Can't go off
See
job.
Oddie saying that. Oddie saying that in the chat. Absolutely correct. Odd job is cheats character. Unacceptable. Blunder was excited about this.
Oh, sorry, on you go.
Blunder was excited about this, and then as we were deciding this, realised that it doesn't have online multiplayer, and as a result, we'll never play it.
Because I was a PlayStation boy growing up as well. I never really played it in the N64, so I was like, oh, and then you started reading the details. I was like, oh.
I hope they change that. This seems a bizarre thing.
Are you not a bit worried that nostalgia plays heavily into GoldenEye? I think of all the first-person shooters you've now played since then, are you not worried that you pick it up and you go, oh, it's just not quite...
No, because I have played it subsequently. I've played it a few times over the years, and it's not aged particularly well. The controls will be an awful lot better on the Xbox than they are on the N64 controller. But that's some of the. I mean, it would be interesting. Somebody like Blunder, who's never played it, for instance, or like maybe played it like once or twice many years ago at somebody's house, whether like Blunder will be quite as enthralled with it as I will be, but I'm okay with it because I remember that it's very much of its time. Whereas if you don't necessarily have that I'm sure Blunder will appreciate it for what it was, but it maybe won't necessarily have the same effect. But that's kind of the thing. Whenever you go back to any sort of game, it's got a sort of element of it. But I'm excited about it. I know a lot of people are excited about it. It was a strange one. They kind of wondered if it would ever be, because it basically very rudimentary sort of style, but it actually had, Pierce Brosnan, Sean Bean. It had their likeness, Famke Janssen, Robbie Coltrane, Alan Cumming. They're all in it. They're all in it. I mean, they look weird with their square faces, but so a lot of people wondered that it would never, if it would never come back, because I assume that licensing thing would be difficult. But it does look as though they've managed to make it work. Pierce Brosnan's probably got another payday. But I'm quite excited about it, and it is coming to Game Pass. So regardless of whether or not it's got whether or not the online's coming or not, I'll definitely be downloading it and I'll definitely be playing it. Yeah, Paolo, is it a game you've played much of?
I've played it a few times. I never sat on my own and played it. I've played it arcade. I've played it with you. I don't know if I've played it anywhere else, but I've picked it up a handful of times. But it's always with that controller.
Yes. which is an eccentric piece of kit.
Aye.
I love the N64 controller, but trying to explain it to me, I kind of imagine that that thousands of years from now, some archaeologist will dig up an N64 controller and go, "What the hell is this?"
I told you they did have 3 hands.
Yep. I do see, Bri. I was at the wonderful arcade in Glasgow today, briefly meeting up. I met up with a couple of community members there, a couple of pals, and of course the lovely Andrew and Mish and the whole team at Arcade. Saw the new venue. It's amazing. People must go. But yeah, Bryce just asked me, they literally had an N64 with GoldenEye set up today. Why did you not play it? We could all played it. And I was like, yeah, that's a missed up. It's because I had to run because my parking was running out.
He's saving himself now, Brian. He's saving himself.
I'm saving myself for Xbox. I have changed. Anyway, I'm excited about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if they can make that online multiplayer work, then it's a stick-on for a Nearly Men multiplayer night at some point.
Nice.
Otherwise, we'll have to get you all together and we'll do it on a we'll do a couch cop. That would also be an awesome stream, to be fair. Right. Well, guys, it is it's a well-known fact that my money don't jiggle, it folds. However, if it did jiggle and I wanted to jiggle it for something, for instance, some form of online subscription, then I would be very keen to know what I'd get for those subscriptions. So let's find out what there is in the subbies. Yes. First of all, there is some Game Pass.
Can't you remember your second name, baby?
There is some Game Pass additions. First of all, on the 15th of September, Outer Wilds is coming to Xbox Series S and X. That's coming to console versions, but it's the Xbox Series S and X version. It's the sort of upgraded one. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is also coming to PC and cloud. Danganronpa 3, or Volume 3, or V3, Killing Harmony is coming to console, cloud, and PC. Despot's Game is coming to console and PC. Fuga, Melodies of Steel is coming to console, PC, and cloud. Metal Hellsinger, this looks awesome, is coming to console and PC. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch Remastered is also coming to console and PC. That is a busy day on the 15th of September, and that's the day you can go home! There we go. 20th of September, that is this Tuesday. Deathloop is coming to Game Pass. That is a really good game. Unfortunately, I somewhat fell away from it, but I was watching some clips of people playing it again today because it was announced it was coming very soon to Game Pass, and I was like, oh, it's a really good game. It's really fun. It's a lot of fun. Definitely worth checking out if you haven't already. It's coming to Game Pass on the 20th of September. On the 22nd of September, Beacon Pines is coming to console and PC, and so is Slime Rancher 2. This is an early access game that's coming to console and PC. On the 27th of September, Grounded 1.0, console, PC, and cloud is coming. That is Grounded finally. Basically, as we know, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the game, is basically coming out of early access and into full release. There's going to be an actual story or an end to the story and a whole load of new announcements. This is a game that we've had a tricky sort of relationship with. We've been a wee bit disappointed in the past. The last time we played it, we had a great time. And I'm quite excited about that game actually finally being released. It's very cool. Also on the 27th of September, we've got Moonscars, that's coming to console and PC. And finally, on the 29th of September, Valheim is coming to PC. Valheim's a lot of fun. On the Games with Gold, you've got from September the 1st to September the 30th, you've got Gods Will Fall. From September the 16th to the 30th, you've got Portal 2, Cake is a Lie. And from September 16th to October the 15th, God, we're talking about October already, you've got Double Kick Heroes. Moving over to the PlayStation side of town. That's the one. That's what all the little jazzy clubs in the PlayStation side of town sound like. On the 20th of September, coming to PS Plus Extra and the sort of premium editions, the game catalog. You've got Deathloop. That's coming to PS5. You've got Assassin's Creed Origins, PS4. You've got Watch Dogs 2, PS4. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is coming to PS4. Spiritfarer Farewell Editions coming to PS4. Chicory, A Colourful Tale is coming to PS4. Also coming to, oh my goodness, that's a very long one. What is this? Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 5. That's also coming. That's an extremely long name. Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX is coming to PS4 and PS5. Rabbids Invasion, the interactive TV show, is coming to PS4. Rayman Legends is coming to PS4. And Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game complete edition, is also coming to the PS4. Your PS Plus premium only editions on the 20th of September include Siphon Filter 2. That's coming to PS1. That's one of the PS classics. The Sly Cooper collection, PS3. The Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, the PS3. Bentley's Hackback, PS3. Toy Story 3, the PSP edition. And Kingdom of Paradise, the PSP edition. And here we go. Your PlayStation Plus Essential games, your kind of traditional PS Plus free games for the month of September are Toem, which is coming to PS5, Need for Speed Heat, PS4, and Grand Blue Fantasy Versus for PS4. Oh my goodness, that was a lot of games.
Mm.
That was your subbies.
Subbies.
Anything jumping out? Are you there? Anything jumping out?
It's good to see Deathloop's going completely free if you play an Xbox or
if you've got either a subscription, yep, you can get it. Well, it's if you've got the PS Plus Extra or Premium, but I guess that's sort of a sort of comparable price, isn't it, with Game Pass? So yeah, pretty good. Pretty good.
I'm looking forward to giving that a go.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's a good game. Maybe if you're playing it, I'll jump in and try and kill you. I'll come in as Juliana and try and kill you, mate.
Red.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Just
100% Blunder Boy.
Red.
Red.
Well, I'm not going to be streaming or anything, so I'll just need quick video game magic. So that would be just perfect to jump in for a couple of minutes, kill you, and then leave.
It is.
I'm setting myself up for a massive fall. A massive fall.
Best defense is off it.
Oh, yep. Yep, never forget. Did you see the Firewall 2 has been announced?
Aye. Firewall 2. But then everybody's saying that PS VR 2 is probably going to be £500. Aye.
Yeah, we're gonna need to crowdfund that
because
we're gonna need the community all get together.
If you want to see us play it, that's
enough of yeah.
Because they were saying how the PS5s went up in price because of the component price. So they're thinking that that's going to be about £500 at least.
Great. Well, I guess I'm not getting a PSVR 2. Well, no, I wasn't getting one anyway. I've been informed that by my wife. Review-wise, I have been playing The Last of Us Part 1. I obviously did a review in progress last time. I don't have an awful lot to add, apart from the fact that I am still really enjoying it. I really am really enjoying it. The combat's great. It looks fabulous. And the story beats are just so great. And actually, it's amazing how now knowing where the story goes and what happens, revisiting it, and it just adds so much sort of pathos and real poignancy to it. It's just fabulous. As I said, it's probably not worth buying it if you feel you've done the game to death. However, if you're looking for a definitive version of that game, that's the one to go for. It's really good.
Nice.
Now, last week, Blunder was busy. He had lots of work training stuff to do. So was AFK. So Paolo and I decided to have a wee night of co-op, story-based co-op. I somewhat dragged Paolo kicking and screaming because he was right. I mean, he was right. It seemed very much like the sort of game that we would start and then never finish. However, this may be the exception because I think we both went, oh, we really do need to finish this. Paolo, we played A Way Out. What did you think?
I really enjoyed it. like you say, I do. I've got that problem where we start games and don't finish them, and it's difficult when you stream. Definitely, if you're streaming during the week and you're streaming 5 days a week or whatever, you can kind of get through a game because you can carry it on. But when you're only doing that once a fortnight, really, the moment kind of passes, the momentum goes. So it's really difficult to play a story game. Whereas games like Sea of Thieves or first person shooters or Fall Guys, not things that don't have an ending, that just kind of end themselves, always suit that kind of streaming better. But as I said to you, do you know what I mean? It's my issue. So if we should just play it, let's just play it. You know what I mean? And I'm glad we did. Because it was great fun. It was a lot of laughs.
We did have a lot of silliness.
It's good, isn't it? I've played it before. It's fun.
I mean, it's not like groundbreaking in any way.
No.
The story's more than a little cliched. And it's a fairly sort of rudimentary co-op sort of stuff. It's very much, you can see there Paolo holding the fan while I climb through it and all that sort of stuff. There's an awful lot of that. However, it's just really quite enjoyable.
That was quite fun, yeah. It's yet to really stump us. Nothing's difficult about it, really.
No.
It's more about the journey than the taxingness of it, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the most stumped I got was trying to fish. Found that a bit tricky.
Oh, yeah. You're struggling with fishing.
But yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. We're blown away, Blunder. We sort of... We weren't sure whether to go with type or against type because both characters are slightly different, right? One of them's like got a hair fire trigger and generally resorts to violence and runs headlong into things, and one of them's more of a thinker and a bit more sort of like calmer and likes to kind of talk his way out of situations and things like that. And we sort of went, well, we kind of know who should play these roles, and then Paolo went, well, maybe we should invert and play against type, and we're like, maybe, and I was like, and then my wife Sherry Bobbins had looked at the two characters and went, you kind of look like those two.
I was wondering if you were going to base it on looks as well as that. Are they going to pick the one that kind of physically represents them?
So I kind of went, right, well, we should maybe do that. And so I clicked the one that sort of looked a bit like me and sort of was a bit like me. And then I realised that this character was the exact same age as me, and I went, oh, it's the same age as me. I suppose I should go him then. At which point, Paolo clicked onto his character, and Paolo, what happened?
It was the same age as me.
Did you guys actually make this game? Is this a Nearly Men game that you've never
Paolo and I just waited. We saw this game got released and thought, in a few years' time, we will be the perfect age to play those characters. So we ended up we went playing with type instead of against type, and genuinely had a lot of fun. I think people in the chat enjoyed it. It was very silly, Paolo. There was a lot of mucking about.
There was a lot of silliness, yes. The two of
us
really climbing that lift shaft was something else.
That was probably the hardest bit of the entire game. Oh, I nearly said a bad word there. Yeah, I struggled somewhat with it. Tommy Box says, not often you get games with middle-aged protagonists, to be fair. Tommy,
unreal, man.
Unbelievable.
Unreal.
Don't look what Bryce said. He was even more unkind to you. Yeah, poor Paolo.
Yeah. Offensive and oppressive.
Yep. But it was genuinely an awful lot of fun. Really did enjoy it. Aside from that, I've not really been playing much. I did my final stream for now on my channel. We had a wonderful time in the Sea of Thieves, playing with a bunch of the community members. We did the Glitterbeard. We stacked a couple of Fort of the Damned, and it genuinely was a brilliant night. And it was, it was everything I love about Sea of Thieves. I just had an absolute whale of a time, and it was really special. So I really did enjoy that. Paolo.
Yes.
I see that you have been playing something. Now, this is a game that's been on everyone's lips. I know it's been getting played in my house. I was a bit surprised to see you stream it.
Well, so was that.
Paolo, you have been playing Disney's Dreamlight Valley.
Well, both Blunder and I have been playing
Aye.
Disney's
Yes, I
Dreamlight
know, but
Valley.
we all knew Blunder'd be playing it.
I mean, that was obvious.
I mean, it's absolutely Blunder's game.
But you know,
Oh, that's me.
it's a game. It's a game that when I saw it announced, I was like, "Oh, that's quite good." Do you know what? My wee daughter will love that because it's got that kind of Animal Crossing, Minecrafty type thing, particularly Animal Crossing, and it looks a wee bit. I was going to say it looks a wee bit simpler than Animal Crossing, but it's maybe a bit thinner than Animal Crossing. Certainly at the moment, anyway, where I am. And I thought that's quite good because my wee girl's just learning how to read and all that kind of stuff. So the less reading, the better. And it looked quite light from the trailers and all that. It turns out it's actually a wee bit heavier than I thought it was, but still.
I was going to say, yeah, there's quite a lot of reading.
But she's doing fine. Yeah, she's doing fine. And so she was kind of on to me. She was a bit like, you need to play it. And do you know what? I thought, do you know what? I'll play it because then if I play it, she can ask me if she's stuck in anything. I'll be able to help her.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't get the time to actually play it, so I thought, do you know what? Everybody's playing it. I'm going to stream it. I'll just stream it, and that'll mean I'll get 4 hours or whatever it is in, and that'll get me a wee bit of, knowledge of the game that if she needs help, I can help her. And it sucked me right in, as all these games do. They'd suck you right in. Same as Animal Crossing. That was the same reason I got Animal Crossing, was just to kind of have something to play with her if she wanted to play it. And it became my game. So this sucked me right in, and it's just got that satisfying tidying up a place type of thing. But how are you enjoying it, Blunder? Because you are a Disney fan. I'm not a huge Disney fan, so a lot of it's kind of it's okay, it's fine, it's colourful, it's bright. I get who they are, but you are the man.
It's done really well. So, I mean, I've finished everything you can do in it so far.
It's not been out a week.
Completed it, mate.
It would take me a week and a day to max all friendships, finish all quests, and basically wait for the DLC to come. Which is coming early fall and late fall. Early fall, we're getting Scar and story content, and late fall, we're getting Toy Story.
Is it free or is it paid?
Yes, it's free. It's all part of the. Good. I think at some point. So Gameloft, the group who make it, they've got a mobile game called you make a park. It's kind of the same idea, but it's a bit more intense.
Disney Kingdom?
Magic Kingdom, yeah. Because me and Sherry Bobbins play it. We used to play
Sherry
it.
Bob's a big fan.
Yeah, so it's very similar to that. And what happens with that is they release events and new characters introduced, and then the story gets expanded, and then they release like premium characters you can pay for.
Right.
So they're kind of optional, but the main story still goes along, sort of thing. I don't think they'll be as bad with this because it's a console game compared to a mobile game. But we'll see what happens. But I think the story's really interesting. They do the characters really well. It's a really good interpretation of the characters. The voice actors, because it's not the real voice actors, but they're spot on that you believe it's the real voice actors.
They are good. I wonder.
One of my favourite things about it is Mickey's not the big show on campus, and Disney have done this the past couple of times with things now. Mickey's the main man. He's kind of taking a back seat to other characters just now, and even Maleficent's not the big bad because they've used her for years as the one who's doing everything, like in Kingdom Hearts and other media where there's a baddie behind the scenes. It's been Maleficent, and she might still rock up, but they've not led well. They've got other villains coming in and doing the naughty villain thing, but pretend to be a goodie. So the characters are great. The story's really interesting. I think Disney have been really smart in that they're taking what Nintendo do and kind of not doing it better, but kind of doing it better. That it's more kid friendly than Animal Crossing. Like things aren't quite as complicated or as things to do to guide you. Whereas in Animal Crossing, it's kind of like build a village, now do whatever. This is more structure to keep.
There seems to be less stock market trading.
Yeah. Although
wow.
if you're looking for a tip, you want to make a field of okra. That's where the money is. Magic or Die has a field of 560 okra.
Did I hear rightly that Magic or Die has a spreadsheet about his okra?
Yeah, Magic or Die has a spreadsheet. Heck and MJ did a tweet about it.
Yeah, Heck and MJ docs
but we've been basically every night a bunch has been in our voice chat just playing the game, chilling and chatting.
Nice.
But it's good in that sense. It's very community friendly. It's got lots. I think it's got lots going for it. The stories are interesting behind this, like linking all the parts together. And I actually, there's been a few times I've audibly been like, ah, and gasped when playing it, which is good. So you're kind of getting your money's worth out of it. And the organization and building things is fun, as you say. It scratches every itch, like, and it does it all really well. Like the cooking's fun, the garden's fun, building up the friendships is fun. It's really, really good. There's one of the storylines I get really like, oh my gosh, emotional because my bestie appears. And it's just gonna they've did it, of course, because gamers can't be trusted. Did a deep dive of the files, and the list of characters is extensive.
Oh my!
Which you can probably guess from when you go to the
These
castle and it's
characters
got all the doors.
will be
Yeah.
arrive eventually.
Yeah,
as it goes on.
as it goes on, because it's early access, and a lot of people are playing it don't realize that. So you're getting all the like non-gamers playing it on Twitter, being like, "My game won't do this, my game won't do that," and it's like you signed up for it being glitchy because it's early access. It's not the full shabam yet.
Sherry Bombs has been playing it, and there seems to be an awful lot of issues with cloud save. It keeps telling us the cloud save's not working, and
yeah, just retry and stuff. It's
jump out and come back in. Yeah.
Pooey.
It is on Game Pass, so if anyone out there
Yeah.
is interested in getting it, you at no extra charge. You can get it
Diet
downloaded.
Punk keeps going, I've got all this content for nothing. So Diet Punk is loving it. And they have like how like you've got your Blunderbuss pass and I've got my Dead by Daylight Rift. They've got a version of that. So just now it's like the Pixar event, and you can do tasks to get special coins. And so I've got the incredible outfits. I've got a motorbike that sits outside my house. I've got they've got them in to keep you going and playing and doing other things.
And I think the next one's Toy Story. Is that correct?
So
I had a little look.
Not the next pass. So what's the next story event is Scar coming out, and then Toy Story at the end of fall, as they call it. But
sorry, I was thinking of the next pass. I'm sure I looked at the next.
The next pass is a Disney Princess Pass.
Oh
my!
Oh, well, I think it's called a Princess Party or something. I was
better sign Sherry Bobbins up for that immediately.
You're going to get yourself a clamshell bra?
Oh yes, I am. And all the costumes are great fun in it as well. It's just it's done very well. It's done very tastefully for the IPs. It does, like, anyone who's a fan of Disney and Pixar films will love being in that world and unlocking all the little bits and bobs. But no, it's good. It's fun.
Yeah, it's good fun. No, it's good fun.
It looks good.
Totally
I have to say, it's definitely not my sort of game. But but you know me, I like sort of survival games. I like a game where you can go and grind and gather resources and build all that sort of stuff. So it ticks a lot of boxes for me. And as I've seen Sherry Bobbins playing it, I'm a bit like, oh, go and do that. Go and do that. No, do this, do that. Don't forget that box. Go and grab that box over there.
I think in the 10 days it's been out, I've probably put in about 50 hours.
Oofed.
Gosh.
Or just under that, between 30 and 50 hours. Like, because at the weekend I was just like, hello.
It's addictive.
Paolo, you've been, of course, playing Star Citizen. Anything new to report?
Do you know? It's been a lot of fun. It's in the state of it at the moment. It's kind of probably mid patch basically. So in that we're probably midway point before the next patch comes out. So it's coming and going. There's just been a free fly event, and normally the game kind of breaks a wee bit at that because there's so many people playing it. But then it kind of calms down and gets better again. It's been good fun, but a lot of nonsense has been happening as always. Currently, the thing that's cracked me up is Johnny Caput, member of the community, is stalking me whenever I play it.
I have noticed this. This.
He's been getting on top of my ship and basically flying on my ship. And I don't know he's there, but he's got some sort of second sight. He knows where I'm going to land and things like that before I'm there. It's not that he's stream sniping. There's things he knows that can't possibly be known. But it's a lot of banter. It's a lot of fun. And there's just been a big ship showdown, so that's where the community decide what the best ship at the moment is. And a ship called the Carrick won it today. So Carrick's a big kind of freight transport fighter thing, but it's got a Medibay on it. It's very popular for that because you can get revived on that ship.
Oh, that's good.
Very useful for Paolo.
Very useful for Paolo.
And his sort of
useful for Paolo.
experience playing the game.
Love it.
But no, it's honestly, it's great fun. It is what it is, you know. It's early access, like the Disney thing, you know. You sign up to it knowing what it is, and it's great fun, and it's just getting better and better. And already we're looking forward to the next patches that are coming out. There's going to start to be animals introduced into it and wildlife and things like that.
Animals in space? Oh my gosh!
Yeah, so there could be
space
critters.
animals.
One of the things. So they do a show every week. They do 2 shows. They do Inside Star Citizen on a Thursday, which is like a kind of 15 minute thing, and they focus on something. So, last week they focused on the persistent universe, and that's, if you put down a coffee cup on a shelf and then log out, you log back in, that coffee cup should still be there, no matter where you go. So it crosses servers. It's all about server meshing and things like that. So that's fascinating. So they're hoping to get that up and running for the next patch. But the Friday they do Star Citizen Live, which is an hour's chat with one of the teams. And this week it was the narrative team. So they were talking about what's going to happen with the pyro system that's coming out and all that, and different storylines and things like that happen in the game, the lore. And they were talking about different wildlife and animals that they want to put in it. And one of the fascinating things, I always talk about the little things in Star Citizen. This was a great wee little thing, was that the guys were saying ideally what they'd love to do is they'd love to put space barnacles into the game, so that there's barnacles on your spaceship that you have to clean every now and again.
That'd be cool.
And it'll age the ships and things like that.
Space crud.
Aye. So it's just those little things that kind of just add layers onto your existing in the world. It's brilliant.
Well, you got to clear up that space crud, or else it'll burst into flames and fly over Motherwell.
Exactly.
That was a flaming meteor. Well, they thought it was a meteor. It turns out it was space junk potentially burning up that flew over the west coast of Scotland the other night. I believe it was also spotted in Northern Ireland at one point. And they believe it landed somewhere south of Mull in the Atlantic Ocean.
There you go.
It was very cool footage. Very cool footage.
That's good. Myself and the wee Maverick saw something very similar to that a few years back. It was quite impressive.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Blunder, I see also you've been playing Yakuza 0 and slash Kiwami.
Yeah.
You were discussing Yakuza. Have you got anything else to add?
Just if you like story-based games that are mental, go for it. I would say play the order, start with 0, because 0 starts in 1988, and it sets up all the characters you'll meet later on, and they went back and did it because Kiwami's a remake of the first one that came out to PS2, but it's made on like their new system sort of thing. And when they released the remake, they then made 0. So even though it came out later, if you play it first, as you go through the next game, you go, oh, I know them, I know that character. Oh, nice. That's great fun. But they're absolutely mental. So much fun. I got whiplash from the plot twists. I think within the first 6 minutes of the game, there's like 3 betrayals, 2 murders, and another plot twist. That's like, oh my neck. It's high drama. It's very camp. And there's like, you can go to karaoke minibars and sing, and you can go to dancing and dance and play bowling and play Sega games from the time period and arcades and stuff. Like, the world is very alive, and it's not massive. It's not a massive open world game. You've got in 0, you get 2 areas, and then the next game's all just focused in the one area. So you might get a bit burnt out if you try and do back to back, because you're literally in the same map all the time.
Right. Okay.
But you start to build a love for the area, and you recognize the places and stuff like that. So it's very much a game where you start to love everyone. And when things happen, you're genuinely heartbroken when things happen. Like, you're starting and the main guy Kiryu is just so cool. I'm like, oh, I want to be you when I grow up. So the Kiwami, which I just started, starts in 1995, so 7 years after 0, and then it jumps into 2005, and then the next games they keep going through the timeline up until present day, pretty much. So it's really interesting. It's good.
I'm going to need to get a list from you about which order to play these games in, but I'll definitely need to check them out. The viewers have been in touch. Dancing Toaster has been playing Guardians of the Galaxy and loving it.
That's a good game.
I don't think this is a surprise to the Nearly Men, is it? I've not played it, but I know both of you guys like it a lot.
So good.
Yep. Bride2208 says, mainly board games, plus the usual Fallout 76, Star Citizen, Dr. Mario, I love Dr. Mario, and Mario Odyssey. Jamesy42, just trying You Suck at Parking, which I think will be fun and annoying at the same time. Grid Legends, which was very enjoyable if you like your driving games. The documentary style part of it was better than I thought it would be. And I finally got suckered in with Disney Dreamlight Valley. Very excited. Odentior has also been playing Disney Dreamlight Valley. It's taking over the world. Also, You Suck at Parking looks like a bit of fun. Tommy B298 says Solasta, which is basically D&D light, as far as I can tell. It seems okay so far. I bet Blunder's going to check that out now. Bet Blunder is going to check that out. Sherry Bobbins 09, Disney Dreamlight Valley. Since I watched Blunder play some, loving that it's a mix of all the chill games, Stardew, Minecraft, and Magic Kingdoms, with a good amount of Disney thrown in. I'm really enjoying it.
May the Lord have mercy on your soul.
Sraf has been in touch. Same old Ooblets got its official release finally and is allowing you to really get places in game and hit some targets and make progress. But I mention it just about every week now, so don't feel that you got to include it. No, you're absolutely fine, Subtle. And also, Subtle made a special wee Ooblets gift that you can see in the Discord as well. And finally, Jabrias has played Immortality. Thought it was amazing. There we go. Gonna have to check that out. That's what the community's been playing. If you would like to let us know what you've been playing, here is how you do it.
We'd love to hear from you. Find us on Facebook as The Nearly Men, Twitter and Instagram, where we are at Nearly Men, or email info@thenearlymen.com.
Yes, there we go. So the new releases, there is quite frankly a buttload of these, so I'm going to absolutely fly through these. A lot of them have been covered in the Game Pass editions and all that sort of stuff, but September the 15th, so that is the day you can go home. You've got Metal Hellsinger, that's coming basically to all consoles. You've got Ultimax, Outer Wilds, Despot's Game, and Dungeons 3. Dungeons 3 is coming to the Switch. The rest of them are coming to pretty much everything. Outer Wilds is Xbox and Switch, and Ultimax is for VR, PC VR, Quest, and Pico. September 19th, Truck Driver. That's coming to Xbox Series X and PS5. On September the 20th, you've got Solstice. That's coming to PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PS5. And Construction Simulator is coming to everything, basically. September 22nd, you've got No Place for Bravery. That's coming to PC and Switch. Electrician Simulator is coming to PC. Serial Cleaners is coming to PC, Xbox One, PS4, and Switch. Session The Skate Sim is coming to Xbox Series X, PS4, and PS5. Slime Rancher 2 Early Access is coming to PC and Xbox. Let me see. September 27th, you've got sorry, I'm having a bit of a stroke here. Alfred Hitchcock Vertigo is coming to Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PS4 and 5, and of course the Switch. Dual Universe is coming to PC. Hoko Life from Team 17, that's coming to PC, Xbox One, PS4, and Switch. Life is Strange is coming to the Switch. Life is Strange Before the Storm is also coming to the Switch that day. The Legend of Heroes Trails from Zero is coming to PC, PS4, PS5, and Switch. And Tunic is coming to PS4 and PS5 on the 28th of September. Destroyer, the U-Boat Hunter, is coming to PC. That sounds like a Racturian game, if ever I've heard of one. On September 29th, From Space is coming to PC, Switch, and Stadia. Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous is coming to Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, PS4 and PS5, and of course the Switch. And Valkyrie Elysium is coming to PC and PS4 and PS5. September 30th, you've got Blade Assault coming to Xbox, to PS4 and 5, and indeed to the Switch. And then Oh, Paulo. FIFA 23 is coming out basically on everything: PC, Xbox, and PlayStation consoles, and also Stadia. Also, coming to the Switch is FIFA 23 Legacy Edition.
Lazy.
Ooh, so they're getting their
Lazy.
own. Yeah, they're getting their own little crappy version by the sound of it. Lemon Cake. Lemon Cake is coming to Xbox and PlayStation and Switch on the 30th of September. And Paw Patrol Grand Prix is coming to PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch. That was your new releases. Blunder Boy,
Yes,
we had some stuff from the chat.
we
Would you like
have.
to
We
let us know
have.
what's
Yes.
been happening?
So Magic Guy, in relation to Paul saying what's that game you can go home download, he says you can go home is the most you'll get, Paul. And then Rude, and he's continuing his rude train. He said the Ancients. I didn't know Blunder was in Sea of Thieves.
Magic Cordy's coming for everyone, just swinging at it.
I know.
Shows your spreadsheet, Magic or Die.
That must be
Just you
Magic's
get
favourite.
back to your number crunching. Bri says, Paolo, going to play Fatal Frame. Sounds like an ideal stream for a Monday evening just before Paul goes to his bed.
No chance,
Yep.
Bri.
And those wee hand ghosts trip you up as you walk by. And then
My God.
she comes out your box and crawls towards you. There you go.
She comes up my what?
Tommy Box in relation to Colin's Jiggle, the synchronized head shake there from Paul and I.
Yeah. Glad you spotted that, Tommy.
Mm-hmm. And then Tommy says, and this is a nice comment towards me.
Oh,
not especially relevant. That's it. But I don't often manage to catch Blunder streams. I want to say it's an absolute treat to hear his lovely voice. Thanks, Tommy.
isn't it? I think of that every Thursday.
I mean, to be fair, I've only been streaming like once a week. This week I was too tired to stream at all. I was like, streaming, it's not for everyone these days. And Tommy Box also says, truck driver, woohoo! That niche really needed some more representation in gaming.
That's very true. That's very true.
And that's some of the highlights from the chat.
Very good.
There we are. Gentlemen, there is no streams from me. We did discuss this. There will be no streams for me for a while.
God, finally. I've been waiting 2 years. 2 years I've been waiting.
No, 2 long years of it. Enjoy it while you can, everyone. Enjoy it. I'll be back. Sometime. But, you know, we're not going to leave a gigantic, nearly men-sized hole in your life. There will be at least some representation from us fine gentlemen. Paolo, what have you got any streams coming up?
Well, I'll certainly be back on Monday. Do you know, trying to get the Sunday social on the go has been tricky the past few weeks. I am aiming to do something different with the Sunday social, so it's not gone forever, but it is proving pretty tricky to get it on the go. But that's
this life getting in the way.
Indeed, but it's not to say that it won't be on this Sunday. So keep your eyes peeled.
Okay, good. Blunder, you get any coming up?
I should be back Tuesday, but I might try and step up the game a bit to fill the void of the little absence.
Thank you. Please do. I would hugely appreciate that. That would to take some of the weight of.
I'll just wear a Colin little mask when I do it,
That's
like a cardboard mask and
chilling.
That's it.
Yeah.
Blunder. So you heard it first. Blunder's going to stream Sea of Thieves on Community Day.
Yeah.
Don't forget, there will be lots of members of the Nearly Men community who are streamers. They will be streaming. Make sure to give them a follow, to check them out. You will, of course, get updates in the going live in our Discord. If you aren't already joined the Discord, then please do find us on Discord. Just search for the Nearly Men, and you will find us. Please do join the community. Yes, and of course you will of course find out who's live for Community Day. Remember, you'll have to watch 1 hour of a streamer of your choice, as long as they've got drops enabled. Anybody streaming in the Sea of Thieves category will be able to get them. So go and support some lovely streamers on Community Day. And of course, if you are a Sea of Thieves player, make sure to get in there, get your gold, get your rep, get your renown, get all that maxed up. So that episode 115 of the Nearly Men podcast.
Wowza.
It was brought to you by executive producer, Hamster Boy. The boys will be back. They will be back for episode 116 of the podcast on the 29th of September. I will not be here in your ear holes. I will inevitably pop in the chat. But I hope you will join the Nearly Men for that. Of course, we've got loads and loads of stuff, a jam-packed schedule for you in the coming weeks and months. So I may be disappearing for a little while, but the Nearly Men are definitely not disappearing. So we hope that we'll see you then. Gentlemen, is there anything left to say?
Charge joypads.
Enjoy your charge pads.
Well, that's me signing off with a bang.
Imagine that was the last thing that we said for your exit, your hiatus.
Yep.
Enjoy your charge pads. I'm just going to keep saying it.
This is Colin.
Enjoy your charge pads.
Last survivor of the Nearly Men, signing off. Bye.